What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Rip City Rundown. It is Friday. It is the first day, honestly, the first few hours of free agency. We are recording this as of 5:30 Mountain Time, 4:30 Portland. So free agency has only been going on for about an hour and a half. So we're really just going to give you guys the first couple pieces of big news that are Blazer related that just came out. Obviously, if more news happens during this video or after the video, we will upload a separate one. But honestly, people are mad that Joe Cronin isn't really making moves, but there is still a few moves that were made. You want to start with Jerami Grant. That's the title of this video. Jerami Grant is back in Portland. 5 years, 160. He got his fifth year, which only Portland could have offered, and that was important to Jerami. What are your initial thoughts on that, Cody? Jerami in Portland.
I'm happy. Jerami Grant exceeded expectations last year. I really wanted him to be a Blazer. And the fact that, assuming he doesn't get traded, will be a Blazer for the next 5 years is comforting. I remember last summer, or a year ago, we were comparing it to Simon's contract where he got signed and he's making 25 a year and Grant is now making 32. So hefty difference. I do think it's an overpay, unfortunately. I hate to look at the glass half empty side of it, but at the same time, I'm happy Grant will be on this team for 5 years, assuming he doesn't get traded, and make this team just somewhat relevant. And I think that's a good indicator that Damian Lillard is in a Blazers uniform opening night.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest part of it. When it comes to an overpay, I really don't look at it that much of an overpay in terms of what the Blazers had to do. I mean, you just had to do what you had to do. Everyone's saying, oh, he's now making more money than Devin Booker. Well, in 2 years when Devin Booker gets his extension, he's going to be making more money. It's always going to keep going up and up. It's like when Jared Goff signed his extension in the NFL, he became the highest paid quarterback. Is Jared Goff the best quarterback in the NFL?
No.
Absolutely not. So I think this is a good indicator that Dame will stay.
Yeah.
I think we knew it was coming with 5 years. Everyone was saying, oh, it's going to be 4 years, 120, 5 years, 150. It's not a big difference. It's only $2 million more a year. Now, Wes made an interesting point, and we're just going to go ahead and get into this. The weirdest thing of the day is the fact that we cut Trendon Watford, a guy that I think we can all say we like. He's not making a lot of money, only $1.8 million.
Summer League MVP.
He is one of 2 MVPs on this roster. Obviously, Dame with the bubble MVP, Watford with the Summer League MVP. But with all the expectations that Jerami Grant was going to make $150, he gets $2 million more a year. Watford gets cut, saving us about $1.8 million. Did that $1.8 million go to Jerami Grant?
Of course, we don't know. That was me putting a sarcastic hat on and being like, well, Joe Cronin's big move is to shed Trendon Watford's salary so he can give Grant $2 more million a year. That's probably not the case. A lot of people think with the Trendon Watford situation, the Blazers are cooking up something. I don't know what moves the Blazers have made to make you believe that that's going to be the case. But Trendon Watford is a surprising one to me because he was young. He is young. And, at least in the back half of the season, I know we were tanking, so, bad players are going to get theirs. But he showed promise kind of as a passer out of the high post. He was throwing lobs to Shaedon. I thought he had a future on this team. I thought his skill set, he was able to differentiate himself from other bigs, such as Jabari Walker and, obviously, freaking John Butler and Baji or whatever. But I thought Watford was pretty safe.
Yeah, it's just,
I don't know.
It's kind of confusing. Just great contract, young, high IQ player, and also not a guard. Taking him off the Blazers.
Not a guard.
Taking a forward, like our only forwards off the Blazers. What's our average height now on the Blazers? Like 6'2", 6'3"?
We were mentioning, it might be 6'4", 6'5" right now.
Okay, well, I mean,
6'4",
it was 6'5", and then now it's probably 6'4" because the Tower of Troutdale's in Phoenix.
Oh, that's another one. That's a good one. Drew Eubanks goes to Phoenix. We lose our backup center. In a vacuum, not a huge loss.
Yeah.
But, however, if we don't make a move, that's another guy we lose as a big man. So I thought it was funny because all the guys we've been interested, that's been reported, such as Max Strus, who's obviously off the board as you're watching this.
Same with Niang.
Niang off the board. A guy we were talking about, Harrison Barnes, he was off the board before.
Draymond Green off the board.
Draymond Green off the board.
We talked about
that's
last video.
One.
Yep.
Guys are starting to go as we are recording this and as we speak. There's still plenty of guys the Blazers can go after. Obviously, the Blazers' big move would probably be in a trade, so that's always on the table.
Yeah.
But, re-signing Jerami Grant, expected. Losing Watford and honestly Eubanks, a little unexpected, I would have to say.
I would say if I was going to start bench cut from least expected to most expected, Watford was the one I didn't expect at all.
Yeah.
I fully expected Jerami Grant to re-sign. Drew, I was pretty indifferent about. And then just for the people kind of circling back to Jerami Grant, who think, you think he's an overpay, And he probably is, quite frankly, but there's just so much money in the NBA these days to go around that, look at Bruce Brown. Is Bruce Brown worth $23 million a year? Probably not. But he is in the right place at the right time, played well in the championship run with Denver, and got his bag. Just to frame Jerami Grant's contract, like you said, Simons is making 25. He's making more than Book, but the Nets gave Cam Johnson $27 million a year. I think Jerami Grant is $5 million a year better than Cam Johnson. I think that's pretty clear. Jerami Grant has proven, albeit on a bad team in Detroit, that he can be a number 1B option. So I think he definitely, maybe I was expecting 150 and it's 160, but that's potatoes at that point. You gotta, and y'all are talking about, Grant might, if he comes back, it's a good sign for Lillard. Obviously, trades can always happen, and Dame could still request a trade. But I think if you just in a vacuum, it is a good sign that Lillard would stay in Portland, because Grant's not going to sign 5 years, 160 to stay in Portland and lead a rebuild. You got to think he's talked with Dame at least.
Yeah, I'm happy about Jerami Grant. I really am, but with everything else, I'm kind of just kind of confused. We're getting ready.
We're waiting for the big. We're still waiting.
We're still waiting.
Yeah,
for that big
I
move.
made the point that Joe Cronin, congratulations, you did the bare minimum. Okay,
You did the bare minimum.
You did the bare minimum. You re-signed Jerami Grant. You have pocket aces right now, Jeremy. You have pocket aces, Joe Cronin, and all you're doing is checking right now.
You're checking.
I need you to raise. I need you to push the chips in. Come on,
the chips.
Come on, man. Get up. Wake up.
I will say something about the Jerami Grant signing for those that wanted to let him walk and sign someone else in free agency. If we were to let him walk, it wouldn't open up cap space by any means. It would open up $8 more million in cap space. So we still wouldn't have enough money to go sign a premium free agent. Yeah. So with the money we had, he was the best player.
Do y'all really think they're premium free agents? Is Fred VanVleet really premium?
Dylan Brooks, premium? Not
sure. There's some guys that can marginally make our team better, but at the end of the day, we have so many guards now. We got rid of so many forwards. We're going to have to make that big blockbuster move trade if we want anything to happen.
And speaking of the guards, go read an article I put out. We have 4 guards. It's a conundrum. I made verdicts on if we should keep or trade them. In my opinion, you got to keep Dame, keep Sharp, trade Ant for sure, and then Scoot is kind of based on Dame. I think you got to deal Scoot too, but that's neither here nor there. The point is that here's one interesting point I'll make. So Damian Lillard in the meeting he had with Joe Cronin was talking about, we're going to give the Blazers, or I'm going to give the Blazers through free agency. Is signing Jerami Grant enough? It probably isn't, but is it?
No,
because
I will also say
no. For us, it's not, but for him,
I don't think that's enough at all. I think,
but think about it. What players in free agency are going to push us over the hump to make him happy?
I know.
Draymond was.
I'm not saying he's not saying he's saying we're going to sign someone in free agency. He's giving until in the end of free agency to. He's expecting us to make a trade between now and July 10th.
I thought the wording. You could have interpreted. But that's fair.
We are still so early in this. We're only an hour and a half. In the 10 minutes we're recording this, something else might have happened. But we expect probably a podcast tomorrow, maybe the next day, depending on what we do. If Joe Cronin decides to wake up and do something, you'll see it tomorrow. If he stays sleeping.
Joe, are you awake right now?
The alarm's been going off for a while. Hey, remember on the podcast I was like, do you guys have faith in Joe Cronin? And you said no.
I said yes.
And we both said a tentative yes. Well, it's going down by the day, by the hour, by the minute. Anything else?
By the second.
These also were the guys that said the Blazers were going to get home court.
When we were 8-3 and we were...
But we all wanted that. We all wanted to believe in Joe Cronin. We all wanted to be good. Maybe the reality is we're not. But we still have time. I still have hope, even if I don't expect it. It could be blind hope. But I hope the Blazers do something. I think they still could. Yeah. But we still got a lot of time. So make sure to go check out our Instagram, Twitter, because that's where we're going to get all the updates. Go check out the article, link in the description for the 4-guard conundrum. And then make sure to subscribe if you want more videos like this. We will see you guys in the next video. Peace.